Stephen Flynn.
Of course, Mr Speaker, attached to the Ministerial Code are the 7 principles of public life, and indeed the first of these is selflessness, and it states that holders of public office should act solely in terms of the public interest. Well, today we've had a number of sources state that the Prime Minister shouted in a rage that he would rather see the bodies piled high in their thousands than order a third lockdown. Does the Minister not accept that a Prime Minister who does not put public health first is no Prime Minister at all?
Let me deal with this. I was in the meeting that afternoon with the Prime Minister and other ministers as we looked at what was happening with the virus, with the pandemic, and we were...
Listen.
Look, we're dealing with one of the most serious decisions this Prime Minister and any government has had to face. People have been pointing out quite rightly that tens of thousands of people were dying. The Prime Minister made a decision in that meeting to trigger a second lockdown. He made a subsequent decision to trigger a third lockdown. This is a Prime Minister who was in a hospital himself, in intensive care. The idea that he would say any such thing, I find incredible. I was in that room. I never heard language of that kind, and I'm afraid that the honourable gentleman, by seeking to make the points in the way that he does, I think diverts attention from the fact that so many people who have been affected by this pandemic rely on the government, the NHS and others to strain every sinew. These decisions are never easy, but the government made the decision and the Prime Minister made the decision to have a second and third lockdown, and I think we can see the evidence of the leadership that he showed then, not just in the courage that he showed, but also in the success of the vaccination programme from which people across this whole United Kingdom have benefited.